If you own a recent iPad, iPadOS 16 is something you're going to want to know about because it's the newest iPad software, and it will be available for the majority of current iPad models later this year. So, join us today as we look at the new features and changes iPadOS 16 upcoming. Let's get started. Number 11. Mail. Mail has undergone several updates recently, the most notable of which is the addition of new features, such as the capability to schedule emails and unsend emails. Additionally, iPadOS 16 will have an improved search function, and Mail will now provide a reminder if you fail to attach a file.
Impressive.
Number 10. Security. iPadOS 16 includes a few improvements to its existing privacy and security features. You'll also be able to lock a note using Face ID, Touch ID, or your password, so you won't have to remember a new password for each note. Previously, you had to remember a distinct password for each note. Number 9. Safari. A new feature called Passkeys is going to be added to Safari in iPadOS 16. It will provide a method of signing in that is both more secure and simpler to use. In addition, shared tab groups will soon be available, which will enable users to exchange messages, conduct FaceTime calls, share bookmarks and tabs, and more directly from inside Safari. Number 8. Weather. iPadOS 16 will at long last bring the weather app from the iPhone to the iPad, including minute-by-minute updates, 10-day predictions, and data about air quality, local forecasts, and other information that can be accessed by selecting forecast modules. Number 7. Messages. With iPadOS 16, you may change an iMessage message up to 15 minutes after it's been sent. You may also unsend a message and designate any message thread as unread.
Oh, interesting.
Other updates to messages include the inclusion of Share Play, which was previously only available via FaceTime, and enables you to watch something in Messages in sync with a buddy while continuing your messaging discussion. Additionally, with iPadOS 16, you'll be able to share notes, presentations, reminders, Safari tab groups, and more in Messages to begin collaborating immediately and view changes on shared projects in the thread. For instance, when someone makes a change, the activity bar at the top of the Messages thread will refresh. Return to the shared project by tapping the updates. The Collaborate option lets you give the link to one or more people through Messages, so they may edit the documents together. We will go into details about this, so stay with us. Number 6. Gaming. With iPadOS 16, gaming also receives an upgrade. The Game Center dashboard has been overhauled so you can check how your friends are doing and challenge them for the highest score. With iPadOS 16, SharePlay also makes its way to gaming, enabling group gameplay. You will be able to start a shared play session and quickly invite your friends to join you in a multiplayer game that makes use of Game Center. Number 5. Live text and visual lookup. Live text will soon get several changes, one of which will allow users to stop a movie on any frame that includes text to copy, translate, lookup, and share. Additionally, there are fast actions that make it simpler to surf websites, call numbers, change currencies, and translate languages. You may remove the backdrop from a topic to isolate it or lift it out of a picture using Visual Lookup, a fantastic function. Number 4. Family sharing. With iPadOS 16, family sharing will get several enhancements, including simpler kid account administration. To make the most of family sharing, there will be a family checklist that offers advice and recommendations, such as upgrading children's settings as they become older. Additionally, a quick start option will be available to enable all necessary parental controls on a new iPhone or iPad for your child. According to Apple's website, you can set up an account for a child with the right parental controls right from the start, including easy-to-use, age-appropriate suggestions for media restrictions. Number 3. Display modes. With iPadOS 16, there are now 2 choices for display modes. The first one is a display scaling mode, which enables you to swiftly alter the resolution of your display. By doing this, you may now fill the screen with additional material without being constrained by the OS. Reference mode is a function that is only available on the 12.9-inch iPad Pro as of 2021. Apple has now made it feasible to use your iPad Pro as a reference monitor thanks to the introduction of the mini LED display panel. This supports both SDR and HDR films and works, both alone and with Sidecar as a reference display. Number 2. Collaborative document editing. Currently, all you are doing is sending someone a copy of the document when you share it with them using the Share sheet. With iOS 16, you may pick between that and Collaborate, which allows you to share a link to one or more people through messages and allow them to edit those documents together. Everyone is immediately included when you share this way from a messages group, and the messages thread is updated anytime someone modifies. With only a few touches, you can even start a FaceTime call for the whole collaborative team. The majority of Apple's applications, including Files, Keynote, Numbers, Pages, Notes, Reminders, and Safari, will support this. A new API will also allow third-party developers to use this capability. Number 1. Stage Manager. With the release of iPadOS 16, a new feature called Stage Manager will become available. This feature will make it possible to have overlapping windows in a single view, similar to what is possible on a Mac. Stage Manager will also make it possible to resize windows and switch between apps with a single tap. You can have up to 4 applications open at the same time.
That is awesome.
With iPadOS 16, iPads ought to have a more traditional desktop experience. Many people have long wished for this, and it seems that Apple can do it. Although the iPadOS 16 new features are promising, we still need to test them out in the field to see how they perform in actual use. You can try the beta for now. To know how to download it, watch our video on how to know if your iPad will support iPadOS 16. iPadOS 16 supported devices.